It's ever since affirmative repositioning has come up and applications were made, nobody's gone to dig into the content of the applications to understand how many men versus women, what the age groups are, where the applicants are mostly concentrated in Windhoek or in the outlying areas, at the coast, north, south, wherever. What is the income capacity of the applicants? For instance, if they are government employees, then one could engage the GIPF to see how a solution could be found to their housing needs, et cetera, et cetera. So we went in there, and there are a couple of things. Let me share some statistics that we're not done, but we can tell you that in Koreankuru, only one application was submitted.
So you've received a response already from the local authorities?
Yeah, we've received responses, and we're quite thankful. We're still receiving some more.
Okay.
Leonardville received no application. Windhoek received 18,245, of which 3,345 were under 18 people, under 18 aged. 400 were under the age of 14. The youngest applicant was 12 years old from Oshakati. The oldest applicants are between 72 and 74. In every town, there seems to have been one. Applicants from Henties Bay used one PO Box 61. Duplicate IDs were used. So, for example, somebody has their English name, they put their ID, then they use their traditional name, put their ID. So you have sometimes one ID, three, four names or applicants. Sometimes handwritten applications just without forms were utilized, and Henties Bay this happened. Some applicants applied in Henties Bay, were given land, and come to Windhoek and apply to develop block of flats. Some of the youth leaders, as a matter of fact, applied for 200 hectares, but were given 50 hectares on condition that they build 20 hectares. And then, so we needed to understand, and we're still going in there, so that whenever government makes an intervention, that intervention is guided by some understanding of the profile of, so you want to know what the magnitude of the problem is. Is the problem today, or 18-year-olds, the problem becomes maybe 5 years later when they've graduated or not, that they need land, etc. So you can't really make an intervention without having understood the problem.
All right. The deadline was set quite short. What will the consequences be for those local authorities that have not yet responded?
No, they are responding. I mean,
gradually?
Yeah, they're responding, and by the hour we're getting as much as we can get in soft copy, which is what we prefer, so that we can analyze it. But these are government institutions, and information was given to government institutions, and a government institution is requesting them. So I don't think there's a problem at all.
Okay. Do you think something tangible actually result from your request of profiling who the applicants are? And because these young people are desperate for land, as we get the message loud and clear, the entire public, do you think efforts that you're making now to sort of profile these applicants would actually make a real difference in how government addresses the land issue?
Well, assuming we didn't do that, then we just put money behind the problem, but we don't know exactly where the intervention should be and how it should be. So my hope is that the better understanding of the profile of the applicants gives us an understanding of the problem. Is the problem land? If you give a person land, does a house build itself? Or are we looking for a comprehensive solution to housing, which is my understanding, and I'm starting to understand quickly, and the understanding is housing, not land. The city could go and take its own land, demolish a park and build housing, and probably you sorted it out. So probably what needs to be considered is a multidisciplinary approach, and I think one could consider having a deliberate conference targeted around housing needs. And then out of that, developing some resolutions as to going forward, which involve both the public and the private. And then you could consider the approaches that could be done, which include private sector participation. And something needs to be done off the balance sheet of the government. So the tangibility that I'm talking about is a better understanding. If you go and make interventions without understanding the scale of the problem and the nature of the solution you want to bring in targeted to that, you're simply putting money behind the problem.
Don't you think that the key issue here is practically land? the youth, they want land. They don't want to be living in boxes, as they call it, flats, and renting for a huge amount of money. So if government decides that, okay, this is how we can sort out this information, as you've mentioned, you're catching on fast that the issue is housing.
The issue
Government
is
could
housing.
build many houses, but people maybe want access to a little bit more urban on their plots, so to say, on their land where their kids can play, as they've mentioned. What type of solution would you come up with then?
Well, the question we need to ask is, what is the profile of the individuals? There are some people who prefer to be communal farmers because they're living in Windhoek working, would rather live in a flat. Vice versa, there are people who come from those areas and would not want to live in the communal areas at all and want to make this a home. So we need to know, are they women-led households? They tend to require more space. Are they male-led households, single men, married men, men with kids, women with kids,
Are you
etc.?
addressing individual issues or just the land issue in general? Because government can't attend to every person's needs, so to say. You need to tackle the issue as a whole, in a holistic manner as a whole.
Yes, but when you say that there's a deadline looming and we want to, I need to understand who's setting the deadline,
Yes.
first of all. And then I need to tell you who you are, because I don't think they know who they are. Because initially they came to give applications at the city, and the information we had was around about 2,000. It ended up being more than that. So people just walked in, streamed from the street, even if they're not even from Windhoek and wouldn't want to be connected to Windhoek because they don't have any employment, they came to apply. So we need to understand that. But when you say it's land, again I ask, what land? Do I just give you land? Do I service the land and give it to you? I think what we need is a comprehensive housing solution.